Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining our Empathy Week Assembly with 52 Lives. My name is Jamie, and I'm the founder of the 52 Lives Kindness Charity. And I'm very excited to have the chance to chat to you guys today and to celebrate Empathy Week. So over the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to tell you about how empathy led me to start the 52 Lives charity, and I'll give you some examples of the kind of things the charity does. And I'll also be giving you a special mission to do to help somebody that you've never even met. No, so back in 2013, so it was almost 12 years ago now, I was shopping online for secondhand furniture and I came across a wanted ad, and it just said wanted rugs. And it was a lady who was looking for someone to give her a free rug to cover her broken floor. Now, this lady had no money. She was having a really hard time. I didn't have a rug, but she just sounded quite desperate. So I got in touch with her to see if I could help. Now, and this is the important part, instead of just thinking that I knew the best way to help her, I practiced empathy. I tried to imagine how she might be feeling, and I really wanted to understand what she was going through. So then I spoke to her, I listened to her story, I found out what was happening in her life and how she was feeling, and I asked her the best way that I could help. And it turned out that there were lots of other things that she needed for her home. So I asked my friends and family to donate some things for her. It was just things like toys for her children, warm blankets, furniture, all sorts of things like that. And I delivered it all to her one day. And when I walked up to the door, holding everything, she started crying, and I realized quite quickly that these weren't tears of sadness; they were tears of happiness. She was so happy that people she'd never even met cared about her, and that someone had taken the time to talk to her and find out what she needed. And when I got home, I had a message from her on my phone, and it said, "It was such a random act of kindness, but it has totally restored my faith in humanity." Now, I felt really good that I could do that for her. And that message and that moment, um, I guess the only way I can describe it, it really sparked something in me. How I felt when I received that, it was the beginning of the 52 Lives charity. So after I received that message, I set up a Facebook page and I called it 52 Lives. And I decided that every week I would find someone who needed help. I would share their stories and try to give them what they needed. Now, just among your classes, can anybody have a little think about why I might have called it 52 Lives? I'll give you a second to have a little chat amongst yourselves. Right, so hopefully some of you have got it right. There are 52 weeks in the year, and my idea was to change one person's life every week of that year. So that's why it's called 52 Lives. Now, so over the months and years, that little Facebook page that I set up received a lot of publicity. We were on the telly, we were in lots of newspapers and magazines. The kindness that we were spreading was inspiring people, and they wanted to be part of it. So it became a proper charity, and we now have almost 100,000 people across our newsletters and social media channels who help us to change people's lives every single week of the year. And we do all sorts of things to help people, from providing beds. We help homeless people off the streets and into flats. We provide school shoes for kids who don't have any school shoes. We help to keep elderly people warm in the winter. We pay heating bills. We send blankets. We don't really have, a set way of helping people because everybody is different and everyone has different needs. So what we do as a charity is just whatever it is that would most help that person. And the reason that we're able to find help for people is using the power of storytelling. So our website is filled with pages just like this one. We share a photo, we share a story about the person we're helping. I speak to the people we're helping, I find out what's happened to them. I ask them loads of questions about what they need and the best way we can help. And that means I can then write their story in the best possible way and share it with all of our wonderful supporters so they can really understand and have empathy for that person, which encourages them to want to help. Empathy is a real superpower, guys, because when you can really understand and share what someone else is going through, it means you can help them in the way that's right for them. And it means that we can show kindness in a way that is actually really helpful and effective for that person, rather than just what we think is the kind thing to do. We will actually learn about what they need. And I'll give you a few examples of some of the people that our charity has helped. So Cooper is 8 years old. He's just recovered from a really serious illness. He's been in hospital a lot. It's been really hard on him, and he isn't allowed to play out in public parks very much because he's at really high risk of getting infections and getting poorly again. But unfortunately, his back garden was just stones and bare dirt, so he couldn't really play very easily. Now, I want you to have a little think amongst yourselves again. Let me ask you, how do you think Cooper might have felt not being able to play outside? How do you think he might feel stuck indoors and not being able to go out into his garden? Well, we spoke to Cooper's mum, and she said he was feeling really frustrated, really sad. He was getting quite angry, getting quite upset, and he just really needed a place to play. So as a charity, we raised money and we created a safe new garden for Cooper to play in. And honestly, it made such a big difference to his life. We also recently helped a mum and her 5-year-old daughter who they hadn't had a proper home to live in for quite a long time, and they'd finally managed to find somewhere to live, but it was very bare, and her little girl didn't have any furniture for her room. She didn't have duvets or toys, that kind of thing. So we spoke to them and found out what they needed, and we bought them lots of furniture for their house, and we created a lovely bedroom for the little girl filled with all the things that she loves. We also do things to help big groups of people. For example, we buy school shoes for about 500 children every year. We carpet lots of people's homes so they don't have to live with concrete floors. And all in all, we help about 4,000 people every year now. And that's all just from people's kindness. But actually, we help even more people than that because kindness is contagious. It's just like a cold or a virus. Research has shown that when you are kind to one person, it helps that person feel happier, which makes them more likely to go and be kind to other people, and so on and so forth. So your one kind act can spread to up to 125 people. How amazing is that? So what does that actually mean in real life, though? What that means is what you do matters. The little choices that you make matter. The way you choose to treat people matters. But all of the examples that I've given you have been about us buying things for people. It's been about things that cost money, but not everything that we do for people is about money or buying things. In fact, all the people that we help say the same thing, that it's not just the things we're giving them that change their life, it's the kindness and the empathy and the fact that people care about them. So every week we also send lots of kind messages to people who are going through tough times, because when you're struggling with something, somebody showing a bit of empathy, a bit of kindness to you can make a massive difference to how you're feeling. It can help unlock the happiness and the empathy and the kindness that's inside of you. So please always remember that your words and your actions have so much power, and you can use them to help lift people up and create the kind of world that you want to live in. And we want you to do that for somebody this week. This is a special mission that we're setting for you for this week, and it's to help a 10-year-old boy called Caleb. Now, we heard about Caleb from his deputy head teacher. She said Caleb, he was getting into quite a lot of trouble at school. He was angry, he was being really mean to people. And we found out that Caleb had been having a really tough time at home. And that's why he was feeling really sad and really angry. Once again, we used the power of empathy. We talked to his teacher. She spent a lot of time talking to Caleb. And together, we all tried to come up with something that might help Caleb feel a little bit better. And we found out that he absolutely loves football. It's his complete passion. It lights him up. And sadly, he really wanted to join his local team, but his dad couldn't afford the fees for him to join that team. So as a charity, we raised some money and paid for him to join his local football team. We also bought him football boots, we bought him football kit. One of our supporters really felt for Caleb, and she also bought him his favorite team, PSG's kit. And so since then, Caleb's been able to be part of a football team. And being part of that football team, it might seem like a small thing, but it just lit a spark inside of Caleb. He's been doing better. He's been asked to play for his county, so he's doing really well at football. But I think more than that, football has given him something to look forward to. He feels part of something. He feels part of a team, and he's beginning. It's still small steps, but he's beginning to feel proud of himself and a bit less sad and a bit less angry. Now, Caleb has some big matches coming up, and with your help, we'd really love to send Caleb lots of kind messages to let him know that we think he's amazing and that we're all super proud of him. So this is your mission. We'd love you to make some kind cards and messages for Caleb. Here are some little tips to help make it easier. He likes football, as I've said. He supports PSG, if that helps with what you want to put on your cards. And in terms of what you should write, I mean, I'd really love you to practice empathy. I'd love you to think about how Caleb might be feeling, what messages might help him feel good. It might be things like, good luck in your football matches, we believe in you, we think you're amazing. Anything at all like that, anything kind will be absolutely wonderful. And teachers, you can send those messages. I've got the address up on the side there now. If you could send all the children's messages to that address, we will pass them along to Caleb in time for his matches. Right, guys, honestly, receiving your messages is going to give Caleb such a massive boost. It's going to help him feel really happy. That's it for me. Thank you so much for listening today and for being part of Empathy Week. I hope you enjoyed it. I can't wait to see what you make for Caleb. And if anybody has any questions or anything, I think Ed might be able to facilitate those if you've got a minute.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jamie. Ed here from Empathy Week. Thank you so much. We will be sending that screenshot as well of how to send your notes and messages. So we'll send that to you, and it will also be available to watch on record from tomorrow. So thank you, everyone. Hope you're having an amazing Empathy Week. Keep thinking about how you can impact other people's lives as well as your own, and we'll see you very soon. Thank you very much.